Alright guys, so we are looking at 3.8 residual analysis. And what this exercise deals with is creating residual plots and then analysing that information and making some conclusions based from it. What these residual plots actually do, or what they are used for, it's a method to actually check the trend between the two variables. It's a way of checking whether that linear regression model with the equation which we made in the previous exercise will be actually appropriate for this set of data, because sometimes it won't be, and this tells us whether yes it's good or no we have to use a different type of method. As the name kind of suggests, residual means the leftovers, so what it actually does is calculates the difference or the distances between the actual points and the trend line and sees what the difference between the two of them are, and does that for every single point on our scatter plot and gives us an answer at the end. So based on that idea, we use this formula down the bottom, where your residual equals your actual y value, your point on your scatter plot, subtracted by the predicted y value. So that's the y value you would get if you used the equation from your trend line or your regression line. When you finally plot these, and these are just taken straight from your CAS, the next video will show you how to do these on your CAS. You won't have to do these by hand. You just literally copy down what your CAS has done. But once you have sketched your residual plot, if it looks random, which this one kind of does, that means it supports the linear model equation, so the equation that we came up with. But if for some reason when you sketch it you get a curve or a pattern of some kind, it means that that linear model, it's not going to work, and we need to establish a non-linear model for that set of data. This is kind of a little bit tricky to get people's head around the first time, because usually if you see something random where there's no pattern to it, you'd assume that the linear model doesn't work. But if you get a random residual plot, it means yes, the linear model works. If you get a pattern, you can simply say the linear model doesn't work and another model will be more appropriate. This slide here talks about doing a residual plot on your calculator. I'm not a massive fan of these instructions. When you get down to this section, it gets a bit confusing and nasty. I'm just going to show you a nice quick way in the next video how to do that straight away without actually having to change or follow these instructions. So I may actually update or remove these instructions to stop any confusion, especially when you get to your exam. I might actually update them to show you how to do that. But otherwise, guys, that sums up the exercise. I'll have the CAS example coming up next, as long with a worked example on how to do this by hand, because you will have to work out the residual by hand for some questions. Thanks, guys.